Signal Hounds, talking RF, and today we're talking Spike's new indoor Wi-Fi grid mapping feature, built for surveyors and RF pros. Map sites, check results against acceptance criteria, get real-time visual feedback, automate measurements, and generate reports. The Wi-Fi mapping feature in Spike sets users up for accurate, repeatable maps, whether you're doing site acceptance testing or quick coverage checks.
Hello and welcome to Talking RF. Sean here, and today we're demonstrating our new advanced RF mapping features in Spike, including grid-based mapping and best practices for collecting reliable indoor survey data. Our mapping feature in Spike has been completely re-engineered and designed to support surveyors and other RF professionals who need to characterize physical locations across a variety of performance metrics, test acquired results against established acceptance criteria, see intuitive visual feedback in real time, perform measurements automatically, and produce reports communicating results. The licensed add-on must be purchased and activated before use. Whether you're doing site acceptance testing or quick coverage checks, I'll show you how to set up Spike so your maps are accurate and repeatable. Let's get started.
To perform a survey of an indoor wireless network, we'll first connect to a spectrum analyzer. In this demo, we will be using a BB60C. Next, we'll go to analysis mode and scroll down to mapping. Load a floor plan of the building, and then we'll make the map a little bigger. Using the map window, we can zoom to map features and increase the scale. Now that we have our map, or our floor plan, we can start configuring measurements. We'll look at a 2.4 band, which will be 2.437, and we'll set other parameters and take a channel power measurement. Under grid settings, these are the thresholds for one of the cells in our grid, which we're going to overlay on this floor plan. These thresholds determine what level passes and what level fails in each cell. If we set a lower threshold, then we're saying the signal to pass must be above this value. Now we've got our 2.4 band. Let's duplicate that. Most settings will be the same. We'll make a 5 GHz band and change the center frequency of the sweep. Now we have two bands that we're going to be measuring at the same time when we take a measurement. Let's configure our grid now. Click Grid Enabled under Grid Settings in the control panel. Now we can see there's a grid overlaid on the map. It's currently set to 5 rows with 4 columns. 20 cells is a common grid size. Let's change it to 12 cells, 4 by 3. You can see each cell is numbered 1 through 12. When walking into the building, we'll start taking measurements. I'll make sure that the panel layout is unlocked, which means we can click to enable taking measurements. If we were outside, we could add GPS access and then we could take automated measurements. But normally inside, you don't have GPS reception or are doing things manually. As we walk through the building, I start clicking as we walk and taking measurements. To make the measurements easier to see, open the Map Settings tab on the control panel and make the points a little bigger by increasing the point size. Then increase the point opacity as well to make them darker and easier to see. These points are heat mapped, so the higher the signal, the closer to the warm end of the color spectrum the point will be. It's set to auto color, so the software will automatically set the range of colors to match the minimum and maximum levels. You can turn off the auto color and manually adjust these levels if you're looking to be a little bit more binary. With heat mapping, you can also grayscale it, but for this demo, we'll keep it on auto color. We are walking through this building, going through different rooms and walking down the hallway. Now that we've taken a bunch of measurements throughout this building, we can see that some cells have passed and some have failed. We'll be able to click into a specific cell and we can see, for example, the average channel power measurement, the pass-fail counts, and the measurement density. All that detail is viewable from the grid interface. If you need the raw numbers, you can export that. Or you can click into the cell and view the point-by-point data that make up the cell's metrics. Throughout this building, we can see that some cells have passed, those are in green, while some have failed, those are in red. Each one shows the worst level seen in that cell. We also have access to the data in table form. Here are the points we've measured. We've taken 23 measurements. If we look at the grid tab, then we can see the statistics for each cell we've defined. There are 12 cells, and we can see the status for those cells, whether it passed or failed, how many points of measurement were taken in that cell, the worst power seen, and how far it is from our threshold. Or if it broke through the threshold, then the margin, a positive margin, how much it passed by, or a negative margin, how much it failed by. One important thing to note is that over in the Measurement Settings tab of the control panel, we have our active measurements. Even though we're taking all the measurements we've defined, we're only looking at the results one at a time. You can change the active measurements. Right now, it's set to Wi-Fi 2.4, but if we change to Wi-Fi 5, we'll see the same locations, but different measurements, since it's measuring at 5 gigahertz. Now we can print this data as a PDF and generate a report. We can configure the report with some basic data, report number, title, and the date. After we configure the report, we can generate it. The PDF will include the default name, which has a timestamp, and the device used, and the serial number of the device used. Next, configure the report number, date, test engineer initials, and then leave notes if needed. After we've configured the report, we can generate it as a PDF. We will leave the default settings in place, which has a timestamp and the device used and the serial number of the device used. Now open that report. The first page is the report title page, with the report number, the date we defined, and the timestamp. The data includes the information we entered, the data we pulled automatically from the spectrum analyzer, the spectrum analyzer's serial number, the notes that were entered, and then for each measurement we defined, we'll have the suite of information. Then we have here the overall configuration of that measurement and the table view, which gives the information about each cell, followed by the map with the points on it for that measurement. We have the same thing for our other measurements, which is at the Wi-Fi 5 GHz band.
That wraps up our full walkthrough for enabling and using Spike's new advanced RF mapping features for indoor applications. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments section below or contact us at support@signalhound.com. Like, follow, and subscribe for more Signal Hound and RF content.